welcome back to the channel. Everyone, today is a beautifully chaotic day in the soap world, and we are here to break down every single shocking moment that just went down. It has been a completely wild ride lately, and honestly, we need to unpack this massive mess. Grab a coffee, or maybe something stronger, because things are getting intense and we have a lot to talk about right now. So, Matt Clark, where do we even begin with this guy? Because honestly, he has just pulled off one of the most insane, over-the-top villain moves we have seen on the show in a very long time. Let's be real, Matt has always been a complete menace to the Newman family, but this desert setup, this is a whole new level of unhinged. He has managed to trap Nick Newman, Adam Newman, Sharon Newman, and Noah Newman all inside this creepy, dusty, abandoned gas station out in the middle of nowhere in Las Vegas. And he is just loving every single second of it. It feels like we have been building up to this massive confrontation for weeks, and the writers really just threw everyone into a literal death trap. And it all starts with this phone call. Reza Thompson is on the phone with Matt, and the tension is just off the charts. Matt is absolutely furious that Reza betrayed him. You can hear the venom in his voice, but at the same time, he is weirdly happy. He is gloating because he finally holds the entire Newman family right in the palm of his hand. He is talking in these weird, cryptic riddles, but he still manages to reveal way too much information. Why do villains always do this? If he just kept his mouth shut, he would win. But no, his ego is too big. He reveals enough for Reza to figure out that he is planning to turn that gas station into a giant fireball with all four Newmans trapped inside. So Reza, who is probably realizing she is in way over her head, immediately passes this horrifying information over to Chelsea Lawson. And Chelsea just goes into a total, absolute panic. I mean, I would panic too. Chelsea has had this terrible, sinking feeling about Vegas for a while now, and suddenly all her worst nightmares are coming true. She realizes that time is running out, and she also realizes that there is only one single person on the entire planet who has the power, the money, and the ruthless energy to fix a mess this big. Chelsea has to call Victor Newman. Just think about the irony of that for a second. Chelsea calling the mustache for help. She is desperate. She is crying, and she tells Victor everything. She tells him that Matt is about to blow up a gas station with his children and his grandson inside. And Victor, because he is Victor, doesn't even hesitate. He just goes straight into crisis mode and demands that Chelsea send him the exact coordinates. You know Victor is already mobilizing private jets and helicopters, but you really have to wonder if even Victor Newman can get there in time. Meanwhile, let's talk about what is happening inside that gas station, because it is an absolute nightmare. Nick Newman is in big trouble. The guy is in terrible shape. He is basically collapsing, and it is so hard to watch. Adam finally steps up and admits what is actually going on. Adam confesses that Nick took a bunch of pills. He explains this whole twisted situation about what happened when they were locked in that dingy storage room earlier, which somehow led to Nick stealing packets of fentanyl. Fentanyl, you guys. This is so dark. But here is the kicker. Here is the part that literally made me scream at my screen. Adam admits that he actually encouraged Nick to use the drugs. Yes, you read that right. Adam encouraged his own brother to take fentanyl. What were they thinking with this writing? Adam claims he did it to help Nick cope with the situation, and that he fully intended to help Nick get through the hard times and go to rehab when all of this was over. Like, sure Adam. Let's just push a recovering addict over the edge and fix it later. That is classic spider logic, and it is so toxic I can barely stand it. But maybe I'm being too harsh. Okay. No, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. It is just incredibly reckless. And then we have Sharon, poor, traumatized Sharon. She is standing there, listening to this, and you can see her therapist's brain working overdrive. She looks at Nick, she looks at his symptoms, and she realizes the terrifying truth. Nick is showing severe signs of withdrawal, which means he had to have been using drugs way before they ever got locked in that storage room. The realization just washes over her face, the betrayal, the heartbreak. She realizes that the man she loves has been spiraling into a severe addiction right under her nose, and she completely missed it. But there is no time to process the emotional trauma right now, because Nick is literally dying on the floor. They are desperately trying to keep him awake, slapping his face, calling his name. Sharon is frantic. She wants to call an ambulance immediately. But of course, they can't, because Matt Clark is a psychopath who thought of everything. He took all their cell phones before he locked them in. And the dusty old landline in the gas station. Completely dead, it is such a classic horror movie trope. No phones, no way out, completely isolated. But it really works here to build the tension. So they have to move him. Nick is completely dead weight. He is too weak to even stand up on his own feet. So Sharon, Adam, and Noah have to physically drag him. You can see the sweat, the panic, the heavy breathing. They are struggling so hard just to get this grown, muscular man off the floor and drag him out the door toward Adam's car. Every single second feels like an hour because we, the audience, know that the bomb is ticking. We know Matt is out there. Which brings us to the outside of the gas station. Sienna Bacall, what on earth is Sienna doing? She is driving toward the gas station and she spots Matt's car just parked there in the distance. And instead of calling the cops, or hiding, or doing literally anything rational, she just marches right up and jumps into the passenger seat of Matt's car. She completely surprises him. Who just jumps into a known psychopath's car? Sienna does, apparently, and it immediately turns into this massive, screaming argument between the two of them. Sienna is looking around the car, and she sees the video feed from the security cameras. She sees the monitors. She sees exactly what Matt is looking at. She knows that Noah, her boyfriend, is inside that building. And she knows Matt is about to kill them all, so Sienna gets desperate. She starts trying to convince Matt to just drop the whole plan, to just walk away. And then she makes this absolutely wild offer. Sienna looks at Matt and tells him that they can win back everything they lost. She tells him they can just run away together. And she reveals that Victor Newman actually transferred all of his assets, everything except the club, directly into her name. She has the money, she has the resources. She is offering to end Matt's escape and his entire life if he just takes his hand off the detonator and drives away with her. Is she serious? Is she playing him? Obviously she is just trying to save Noah, but it is incredibly bold, desperate move. But Matt Clark is not an idiot. Well, he is an idiot, but his ego is way too big to fall for this. He looks at Sienna and he just laughs. He doesn't buy her act for a single second. He knows exactly what she is doing. He looks her dead in the eye and tells her that she is only doing this to save her young lover. The jealousy and the spite in his voice when he says that about Noah is just chilling. Matt is driven by pure hatred at this point. He doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about running away. He only cares about destroying Nick Newman and everyone attached to him. So he does it. Matt just looks at Sienna, smirks, and presses the button on the detonator. He actually presses it. And boom, the entire abandoned gas station just erupts. We get this massive, cinematic shot from afar of the building turning into an absolute fireball. The orange flame shooting into the night sky, the shockwave, the debris flying everywhere. It is a completely devastating visual, and the episode just cuts to black. I am honestly still shaking just thinking about it. The fans on social media are going to absolutely explode over this cliffhanger. Twitter is going to be a mess. Who survives this? Obviously, they are legacy characters, so they have to survive somehow. Right. But how did they get Nick to Adam's car in time? Did the blast catch them in the doorway? What kind of severe injuries are we looking at for next week? And what is Victor going to do when his helicopter finally arrives and he just sees a crater in the Dan of the Sahara Desert? Matt Clark has officially crossed the point of no return, and the fallout from this explosion is going to change the Newman family forever. I cannot wait to see how they write themselves out of this corner.